them say, there's no telling where the guys will take you. Get ready for a spoiler. Won't say it twice, cause we already warned you. Better watch out, it's gonna ruin the plot. Real spoilers. Real spoilers. Real spoilers.
Broadcasting from the lush but not lavish studios located in the basement of the O'Keefe Institute for Advanced Film Snarkitude, this is Real Spoilers, episode 864, HIMSS, brought to you by Blue Chew.
I was actually, when I saw it, I was waiting for Joe, since he always makes that sponsorship
It's always-
joke.
yeah,
I'm
I
like, we're
couldn't-
going to
yeah.
hear something about
We
this. But
should've.
Tom didn't even let him get it
Yeah.
up.
I didn't realize. I thought HIMSS was just an ED med. I didn't realize that they have like
Hair and
meds for
stuff.
everything.
Well, I think
Yeah,
it started
they-
off as a hair thing, right? Because that's how they discovered Viagra, I want to say, is that
No.
it was for...
No, it was for blood pressure.
They
Oh, okay.
discovered Viagra because they were looking at blood pressure meds.
Yeah, because it affects your blood pressure too,
Oh.
and so they were trying, but it doesn't work all that well. And
But
so
they found out that people's hair started growing or something. Like there's the benefit or something is like...
I've never heard about
well,
the hair.
HIMSS
is
does
for
have, like,
hair,
a
right?
hair
And
thing, yeah.
So they like... I think they like snuck into the market with like
Yeah.
hair growth, and now it's all like, oh no.
Now, finasteride, which is for prostates, I know this because I'll be 55 in 3
Yeah.
days. Like also can stimulate hair growth, and
so
so
you've got a chance.
no,
Oh.
I'm way too far past. But
If Tom comes in with like that weird Turkish,
Yeah.
like hair implant thing,
but yeah, they were looking for a blood pressure medicine when they found Viagra, and it wasn't work. They were doing studies, and it wasn't affecting the blood pressure properly, like they were hoping.
yeah,
And so they were like wrapping up the study, and they kept bringing in the guys and being like, "We need the medicine back," and they're like, "No, I'm good." And they were like, "Why does no one want to give this back?"
no, we got it.
And yeah, Well, because the most common reason for ED, other than of course being married to a hog,
Correct.
is
I mean, keep talking. This will stay in the room.
is
Go ahead.
is blood flow.
Yeah,
And so
yeah.
so that's why they were like, "Oh, this might help your blood pressure," and it didn't. But
It helped your blood
it fixed
flow.
this other thing.
Yeah.
What a crazy discovery. And now you know that like that discovery was just worth like trillions to
Yeah.
the
Yep.
medicine world. And like that's just crazy how
Isn't
they
it weird
discover
that
stuff.
men can get ED meds no problem?
Yeah.
But God forbid we, make things legal for women.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. The whole thing about like, oh, if men could get pregnant, you just wait and see how quickly.
You better believe that
Yeah.
like any sort of
Well, I see it with like my wife trying to get like hormone replacement therapy as she goes through perimenopause. I'm not outing her for the women that are listening right now that are like, "Tom, shut up."
Talks about us on
Like,
the clip out. or
she talks
something.
about it
Yeah.
on the clip out all the time. So like
Right.
I'm not like revealing too much. But yeah, it's just like a nightmare
It's
to get
impossible.
it. Yeah.
It's impossible.
Where
I had
Take
a-
a stack for sure.
I go to the urologist and there's some
You want some of
testosterone.
this?
yeah. Huh?
Hey, we've got a TRT replacement thing right here.
We have a take a testosterone, leave a testosterone jar right over here.
I didn't say anything.
The dog wants your attention
I know,
now.
she's just off camera, so it looks like Joe's. We
Yeah,
don't
I
know
know.
what he's doing on camera.
I'm
but
literally just
there is a
sitting here
dog there. We promise.
talking about testosterone,
Yes.
and the dog was like, "What'd you say?"
But
She thinks
but
it's
yeah.
a dog bone.
Yeah, it is. I had a friend who, she wanted to get her tubes tied. Like she had one kid, she wanted to get her tubes tied, and the doctors are like, "I don't think that's a good idea," and she's like, "I would like to do this," and they're like, "No,
Yeah.
we're not going to do that," and it's just kind of like, that's wild. Like
Yeah.
it's wild to have someone's doctor be like, "No, you don't want that."
Yeah. Although I will say, I know because women tell that story a lot,
Mm-hmm.
but I will say when I went to get my vasectomy, hang on, shut the door.
Oh, you don't want anybody to hear the story besides the dozens and dozens of listeners to the Real Spoilers podcast.
bleeding into the podcast.
He's like, don't tell Crystal I don't really have it. I want more babies.
Yeah, now that we've got all the kids out of the house, I want to do this again.
Yeah.
Oh, could you imagine?
Yeah.
This is a true. And then
Oh, yeah.
you do yours.
Okay, so when I went to get my vasectomy, the doctor was like, "Are you sure?" because I was divorced.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, what if you meet a woman and she wants to have another baby? And I'm like, then that's not a woman I want to be with. Like,
we're good.
I'm done.
It's a fair question, but yeah.
Yeah, I was just like, no. I'm like, plus, like, my ex-wife was bad. Like, I don't need another baby in the equation to contend with. I'm just like, and I was 40, 41, and I'm just, but I did get questioned on it. So, like, that did occur.
Think of that thing from the Office where Michael's like, snip, snap, snip. Do you have any idea how tiring, what that does to a man? No, I had I know. Right. I had a friend, actually, it's a former family member, so I'll let you put that together as to why they're former. Had 2 kids, had them very young. One, I think, was a senior. One was done with school. One, I think, was like a senior in high school going to college. The husband had a vasectomy at some point. As this child is moving off to college, his wife is pregnant because he didn't get it checked. He didn't get the vasectomy.
They can like go back together?
It can go back together, and some can sneak through.
Yeah, or it's depending on what kind you get. Like, maybe it's really clamped, but not all the way.
So they were on the verge of empty nesters.
Oh my!
And then they had to start all over.
Well, I got the kind that can't be reversed. That's what
No
I
reverse.
I was like, when I was having it done, I could smell it burning. I could smell it burning. I remember because the doctor was very much like, oh, you don't need pain meds. Like, they numb you up, of course. Right. But he's like, no, just take some Tylenol when you get home. You'll be fine.
He's like, I see your shaved head and goatee.
Yeah.
You're a tough guy. You can take this.
And I was like,
I see your barbed wire tattoo.
Yeah, but I was like, okay, you're a doctor. That's
a tramp stamp.
Oh yeah, right.
But so they're in the middle of it, and I feel.
Oh no!
I feel it, and I was like, ow. And he's like, you can feel that, and I was like, well, I said ow.
Yeah, right. So I responded
to you. That's a good indication that I can feel it. And he's like, oh. And he's like, we should probably get you some more local. And I was like, how about some regional? How about that? Let's get the whole kit and caboodle.
The whole mid,
Yeah.
He's like, sir, you wanted your penis removed, right? You said you wanted to make sure this absolutely did not happen. Did I get that correct?
Under no circumstances.
But and so then when we
put
get
that back on, right?
when we get done, he's like, I'm going to go ahead and write you a prescription for some Vicodin.
Oh, dang.
And I was like, Mr. Tylenol will be fine. Is suddenly like, you need to stop and get this prescription filled before that wears off, sir. So,
oh man,
good times.
Yeah,
good times. But yeah, I could smell it burning.
That's fun.
As they cauterize
what is it?
What is it? Vaz.
Yeah,
tubes?
I almost said urethra, but that's not right.
No,
that's the P. That's the P one.
That's where you pee from. That would be. Although sometimes it feels like that's been cauterized too. The joy of aging.
I was like, that's how do you make a baby, right? You pee on the
you
lady.
You just pee on the lady. That's the way it works.
It grows a baby.
Yeah, every video I've ever made.
Oh dear. Okay. Well, shameless plugs. Although I think they're more shameful now than they've ever been. Don't forget, we're available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartTunes, and wherever you find a podcast, you can find us. While you are there, be sure and follow us so you never miss an episode. Maybe leave us a review. That is super helpful and greatly appreciated, and increasingly rare.
It's so true. 3 months. Yeah. 3 months. Thought it was 3 minutes. I was wrong.
No. Yeah. Back to
also true. Video makes. Yeah.
So also you can find us on Facebook, facebook.com/Real Spoilers. While you're there, like the page, join the group. It is called the League of Show Sharers because we are hoping you will share an episode. People who were kind enough to share an episode last week include Travis Tewitt, Jason McLean, Richard Krotzer, Tammy Lynn Powers, Betts, Ron Johnson, Gabriel Lugo, Gus Butisi.
I haven't heard that name in a while.
Yeah, me either. No, I'm just kidding. I literally talked to him like the other day.
Chris Magic Man, Julianne Jordan, Ralph Tribble, Tom Dowdy, Glenn Cougar, Melon Brewer, Heather Sachs, In Session Film, Batman Rye Guy, Matt Rorschach, Dwayne Simkolke.
Dang.
I think I'm saying that right.
I was hoping you were going to say Johnson.
Yeah, I'd have led with that one. Ryan Terry, Geek to Me Radio, Ronnie Castle, Mike and Oscar, The Kryptonian Orphan, Matt Neglia, Edit Photo Gamer, and Nostalgia Cast. So thank you very much for sharing an episode. It is greatly appreciated. And Also, what do I plug? Oh, Patreon. Patreon.com/Real Spoilers. $5 a month. You get all sorts of bonus content. We like you extra.
I'm just laughing at Blues Brothers 2000 is on the horizon.
Yes.
And Matt, in our Real Spoilers adjacent feed, sent us all a link to a copy of Blues Brothers 2000.
Because it's not available for streaming.
Right.
And then, like, right now it's like $15 on Vudu. And I've seen it on sale many times for $5.
Isn't that crazy?
And I've always been like, I'm never going to watch this again.
No.
Well,
No. Surprise.
unfortunately, Matt wasn't a part of the show back then.
So even though
true.
we've already done a main feed Blues Brothers
Correct.
2000 episode.
Correct.
So the only films that the podcast has ever revisited, Man of Steel
Yeah.
and Blues Brothers
No, we've
2000.
done a few.
Two of the greatest movies.
We've done haven't we done a few? Didn't
Oh,
we realize
because
we
you
did,
did
we
the
did
Marvel.
Scream? No, but we did Scream, but we didn't realize we had done it. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Like we covered Scream and then we covered it again, and like midway through the episode, we're like, or I think you said, you're like, I think we've done this before, and I was like, no, we didn't, and we went back and sure we had done Scream
funny.
before.
Well, now the question is, will you guys finish the series before SNL gets canceled?
Maybe, probably not.
Which one do you think
I
will
don't know
happen?
if we'll be able to finish this episode before SNL gets canceled the way things are going right now.
It's wild. I mean,
I
look,
didn't mean to get into it. It was just
no,
a one-off
I
joke.
think I think it is wild. That's all I can
is
say.
wild.
It is. If this is what this is the thing that I was thinking.
Yeah.
If those two guys are smart, and they are, Kimmel and Colbert.
Okay, I was
Oh,
like,
okay.
which
I'm
two?
like,
Yeah.
And they're very smart
Uh-huh.
men. Do what Conan did, and
Yeah.
just leave.
Conan's
and,
got his
and
own
go.
empire now.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And I think either one of them have the ability to be the left's answer to Rogan.
Oh, dude, could you imagine if all them teamed up, like
That's what
all
I'm
the
saying.
people on the network TV teamed up and had their own network, and it was
Yeah.
all their shows and all their
If it was
specials?
Conan,
Oh
Kimmel,
my
and
gosh.
Colbert, like that's a
Genius.
That's
I don't know. I think that's too many funny guys in one room.
that's fair.
You know,
Not
like
in the
fair.
same show though, but like
Like they
each
just
have their
they just
program
they just
on
have
the
like,
channel.
like network.
The
yeah,
network,
they have a channel on
Gotcha.
YouTube.
They would be the network. Like, I mean, all those views we saw. SNL gets the most YouTube unique visitors
Yeah.
this entire year.
Yeah.
Goes to SNL. So you start taking shows, and then Kimmel and all them. You watch their clips on YouTube. No one watches it live. The ratings are decently low because everyone just watches on YouTube.
Yeah, that's the
Make that the
wild
show.
that's the wild thing that people
Or
are
like,
just like
I still watch SNL every week.
Do you
but I
watch it
stream it on
live?
No, I
okay.
I stream it on Peacock.
Yeah.
But I haven't watched it live in 20 years.
That's fair.
Like I would DVR it and watch it later,
Yeah.
and then now I just stream it on Peacock.
But-
I've watched one episode of SNL live in probably the last 30 years,
Yeah.
and it was when Eddie Murphy came back to host.
Fair.
I stayed up and
This
I was
is one
like,
that you
I'm
should
like,
probably watch.
I'm watching this
Yeah.
live, and
Yeah.
and that's the only one I've watched live.
Yeah.
in forever.
I
But
just
that's
think-
the landscape. It's not. It's
it's
not
not
their quality.
correct.
It's that no one watches. I will tell you now. I have not had cable. I mean, I know that this is broadcast, but no one has antennas, right? I mean, I have not had cable since before COVID. I mean, I don't care. I don't watch it. I don't need it. I can stream everything I want to watch.
Yeah.
I
And
don't- you don't
also
need it anymore.
when you go to I think we've said this, when you go to YouTube, there's no FCC. So you don't have
Right.
to, you can,
Yeah.
you have to abide by YouTube's
course.
standards
Terms
and
and
practices,
conditions, which
whatever.
in some ways
It's-
are stricter.
they can be. But yeah, you throw a podcast out there, you sign a deal with Spotify or Apple, whoever.
Most people don't know the reason for that chicken noise. The FCC told us we had to
Yeah.
put that chicken noise in.
You remember that
They told
episode,
us they would remove our license if we didn't use the chicken
Do you
noise.
know why I did that? Because I was told that episode was going to be on the radio.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a
So
radio.
that's why I
the
did
whole
that.
yeah. If you guys don't know, seriously, like 800 episodes.
It was
ago,
the first.
It was the Godzilla
we used
episode.
to be on
2014.
the radio. Talk STL broadcasted all of our podcasts for a while on the
Yeah.
radio. Every week, I would give them to them, and I had to edit them because they would be on FCC
Right.
standard
Yeah.
radio,
Yeah.
right? And so it's a running gag, but it's a really old running gag. And I honestly debate
Literally,
whether or not
it's-
to just stop doing it
It's
because
10.
it doesn't.
It's
matter.
10 years ago.
I know.
Yeah.
So it's a
But
running.
we reference it in our theme song.
It's true.
Yeah.
So you got to keep editing it.
So you gotta keep.
But
doing
like people
So
that
go f- yourself.
But but people that listen that are new listeners, sometimes they are like, "What is the deal with the thing?" I'm like, I thought I had to turn my audio down. I thought my car was having issues. like when they're driving and listening to it for the first time, they really do get freaked out by it. And I'm like, I don't know. I think it's maybe lost its.
No.
You don't have to edit it.
That's
I
true.
have to. Do you know
That's
how many
true.
times like?
There was-
There's another
there
one.
was a-
has to get edited 15 or 20 times an episode.
There was a time when you said, you were like, hey, can
Yeah.
you pay attention to when you're
before
like, it's not-
before AI.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
You know, we use a tool to edit that can detect, because it transcribes our episodes into text, and it searches the text.
Right.
But when I had to sit there and listen
Yeah.
second by second and bleep them and not miss them or whatever, I was like, dude, this is no. It was a lot of work. So it's easier now. That's why I don't care as much.
Right,
but
right.
like, it's still a pain to do,
That's
and I
fair.
don't know that we need to. Like, I don't know.
It is
It's a
part of our
question.
it's part of our old logo. We have that one logo that does have a chicken on it.
Yeah, the League of Show Shares.
League of
logo.
Show Shares.
Dan
logo.
used to be a part of our
That's true.
show
That's a
too,
good
and he's
point.
in the cover of our Facebook group. So I mean, you know, things can change. But anyway, that's what it's for. We used to actually be on the radio, so
Right.
we could not say those words. Ask George Carlin about it.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
You already
we
said
did it.
Introduce the show. We're in it.
And you know, I never said YouTube. And YouTube. So, anyway, HIMSS. This movie, I'll say right now, this movie is hot garbage. This is maybe the worst movie I've seen.
Oh,
all year.
I don't think it's the
Yeah, no,
worst.
No.
it's
What?
awful.
I do wonder-
This is juvenile. This is like sitting in a freshman dorm.
That's
with
very
somebody
true.
stoned,
The rat
thinking they're
stands for obviousness.
thinking that they're profound.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
is
yeah.
aggressively
Is
dumb.
this? I do wonder
It's like warmed over Aronofsky.
if this is
it's hot garbage.
If this is the script that Peele gets because he doesn't get weapons.
I don't. There's a reason why he didn't direct this.
There's a reason he didn't write it too.
Dog.
But
Yeah.
okay, but I think it's mediocre. I don't think it's.
I think
I
it's
don't
lower.
think it's as
I think it's
bad-
lower than mediocre.
I don't think it's as bad as Tom is saying, but I do feel like I get what they're trying to say. The execution is not there.
I don't know if they get what they're trying
No, but
to
I mean,
say.
it's clearly about sports and like
Well,
what are
it's
you willing
about
to
the
sacrifice?
it's about the NFL.
Well,
like there's
one of
a-
them,
Yeah.
but I think it applies to sports. I think it applies to politics. I think it applies to all these different things. What are you willing to sacrifice for greatness? Whether it's a country, whether it's a sports team, fandoms, crazy fandoms
yeah,
that will
yeah.
be religiously indebted to the creator of whatever. Like it has a lot of good things to say, but the execution is
It's so bad.
It gets so boring at parts with them like practicing football and stuff, and it's like.
I think I liked the.
What? Hey, what if we made a movie about football and then nobody played football for the entire movie?
But
like,
they have said before that the NFL. I mean, I think this is absolutely a dig at the NFL.
Well, of
Where
course it is.
it
But that's
is-
so obvious, right? There's
Yeah.
no subtlety. This isn't like, oh, this is a metaphor for it. It's like, no, they're just literally saying
The NFL.
the NFL destroys humans because
well,
it's
that's
like fodder. Yeah.
It's they. This is a weird comparison, but like when these when these kids come out of college and they go to the combine, people have referred it to basically like a slave trade, where these rich white guys are sitting up in the press box. They have all of these athletes who are putting on displays of sometimes absolutely incredible athleticism. And they're just like I like that one. I like that one.
Oh yeah,
or
that's
that
what I
one.
mean. Like
like
talent
it's,
scouts and everything. It's like they're pawns. They're chewed up and spit out.
Yeah.
And obviously with all the owners and what they're willing to do to just
they don't care. The owners and the NFL, the organization, which is you've seen with the CTE stuff,
Yeah.
where they discredited two very successful neuroscientists who are they're just like, no,
Yeah,
there's no
there's so much
connection.
money. You know how
there's
much
no
money they
yeah,
would
there's
have
no
to-
connection
yeah.
between these men bashing their heads into
Right.
each other and CTE.
So
there's
I,
nothing.
So I think there's a lot of really interesting stuff to say, and it's in there. But the
they
way
should
it's-
have said some of it.
Yeah.
But like
that'd have been
I
fun.
think the problem is too is that it's almost too obvious. You know what I mean? It's not. There's no veil. It's not covered up by like, oh, this is a metaphor. Again, it's just like you watch and you're just like, okay, this is just straightforward.
Yep.
We already knew this. I think there are some interesting parts in it, but they just feel instead of it being a movie like I'm gonna say like even Rosemary's Baby, because I think there's similarities, or Hereditary, or I was trying to think which one is it? Hereditary. But you know what I mean, where it comes like, oh, there's a supernatural twist, whatever. You're watching this and you're just kind of like, this isn't really a surprise. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of clear what they're saying.
I
and doing.
think when they keep referring to the goat, it's like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm like, I get it.
like a sacrificial
No,
lamb.
well, like
'cause the
also
goat-
like the devil is constant, like represented as
right.
a goat.
I mean, I knew we were in trouble as soon as the star quarterback's name was Isaiah White.
Isaiah White.
Why is that?
He's a white savior. Are you fucking kidding me? I was like, oh, this is how spoon-fed we're gonna be. This movie is dog.
I didn't pick up on even though he's a black man, but his name is White. He's a white savior. Like,
What's the name of the team, Kevin?
The Saviors.
Oh, you mean okay? I see what you're saying. He is the white. That's interesting. I didn't take it like that, but now I mean,
It is.
Yeah.
You look at a movie like Get Out.
Mm-hmm.
And
A good movie?
I only bring that up because
Because
Peele's
it's
a producer.
good?
Yeah, because Jordan Peele's attack was that's his coming out party, and
Oh,
you watch
congratulations.
you watch that, and like I said, we've said a million times that initial watch, and it gets to the reveal, you're like, God dang.
Yeah.
But then when you go back and rewatch it, and you
It's all
see
there.
all of the stuff that he's planting
Yeah.
that you don't know until you see the reveal.
And it is in this, right? Like, oh, you're gonna make this sacrifice. Oh, well, it's their ritual. Like they do plant all this stuff there and trying to do that same clever way. But you just pick up on this one, and maybe it's because we've seen so many things like this.
No.
But they say it, and you're like, oh, they're saying that to him. They literally mean this is a sacrifice. Like they keep saying the same.
There's a way
words.
to say, hey, look, this is going to be a sacrifice for you. Like you're going to have to,
Oh, you didn't like it when they winked at the
they're
camera
just like,
every time
by the
they
way,
said
this
it?
needs to be a sacrifice.
Oh my God, it's so
And it's like, so there is a way to tell that story where this kid is the greatest thing to come out of college. He's this all-star athlete. And as he's about to go into the combine, I do think it's funny that they can't use their, like, there's
Of course
concussion
not.
stuff, and the NFL's like, fuck you. Sorry. No. Like, you're not using the NFL. You're not.
Well, no, of course not. Because
Right.
if you use the NFL, you have to get their permission.
Absolutely.
And obviously, they're not.
They're not
going
going
to
to give you permission
It's
for
like-
anything that's because I mean, if you think about it, any given Sunday wasn't really the NFL.
Oh, really?
I don't think so.
You might be right.
And
Necessary roughness? No, what's the one where Billy Blanks shoots himself? Oh, that's Last Boy Scout.
Last Boy Scout,
Yeah.
but that's not really the NFL.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I'm trying to think if there's any. No, The Longest Yards. I mean, that's a prison team, but
yeah.
But it's the NFL's prison league.
But I can't remember if he had been on an
I
official
think no.
NFL team.
In the Adam Sandler one, he was like a college guy that threw a game. He was
Yeah,
like a
but-
college.
But
football.
I'm talking about the real
Oh,
one.
the Burt Reynolds one.
Yeah.
The real one.
Yeah.
The game plan did not. Necessary roughness did not. Everybody's all American.
What the replacements?
Varsity Blues did not. 'cause
That was
the
high school.
Yeah. Any given
I
Sunday
don't-
did not use the generic. And then which one?
Longest Yard.
Longest Yard.
The longest yard. Okay. Let me you can talk.
What about Rudy? Rudy
long.
did.
That's
Because it was college.
Yeah.
But,
And
yeah.
because it aggrandized the
Little
sport.
Giants.
Yeah.
Little Giants.
That's an
Giants,
NFL
yeah.
team. But yeah, so like this kid's about ready
Burt
to go.
Reynolds' character, Paul Crewe, is described as a disgraced NFL quarterback. The movie makes verbal reference to the NFL, but it does not use real team names, logos, or licensing.
Okay,
But they said NFL, which is interesting.
You could
Yeah.
probably say it,
What?
I
right?
know.
You could probably. I don't know. Back then, you probably.
I guess
could.
they did.
Back then,
they
you probably
mentioned
didn't.
NFL, but they didn't.
I don't know that the NFL back in the 70s. Well, that's dumb. Was as lawyered up. I
There's
guess
also
as,
North Dallas 40, but I don't think those were NFL.
They showed a
teams.
trailer for that at the beginning of this movie at the
Did
draft
they?
house. Yeah. Yeah, so he's about to go to the NFL. He's going into the combine. They know that he's going to destroy all the expectations. And while he's on his high school football field, this thing shows up behind him and like smashes him in the head. And
It's
now,
like a ritualistic looking like.
mascot,
Go-
like a team mascot.
yeah,
But
yeah.
it's almost like hooded with like horns, and it looks like a goat, right? Like it's like a.
like the goat that they use in their mascot.
Yeah, but like, but you know what I mean. I'm trying to describe for people.
Kevin, I
that-
don't even know this, but goat sometimes also means greatest of all time.
It's true. Did you know that?
Is that what this movie is
boy.
trying to say?
I'm
Holy
not sure if
crap.
you knew
I
that.
thought I was like, why did they
Let
keep
me
saying
blow
he's-
you. Let me blow your mind.
That's so weird.
Isn't that
like,
weird?
Yeah.
That they use the goat a lot.
yeah.
So he gets hit in the head, and now he's got a concussion. He's got this wicked scar on his head.
Oh, and they cut his hair with
Yeah.
that thing, and that was
gross.
that was gross.
Yeah, like his brother's cutting his hair, and like the clippers get stuck in the
I
staple.
like the idea that, dude, when that weird fan is in the tunnel and all creepy and like breathing heavy,
There are moments.
that's a good scene. You know
That's
what I mean? Like
that's
that
a
was
Jordan Peele scene. I do believe that he had to have some sort of influence.
Well, sure, he's
Because
a
there are
producer,
moments
yeah.
in this where I was like, "Ooh, that was kind of creepy."
I feel like they created their creepy visuals and then wrote
Strung the
and then
story.
wrote
Yeah.
a movie around it.
When he's driving to the Marlon Wayans
Compound, I would
whatever
call it.
that is, yeah. And and that one fan is like on the
Oh
door.
man,
That's
boom, that
creepy.
jump scare,
Yeah.
that was a good one. Yeah, I mean there are creepy parts, and I do like the weird imagery and like this is like really effed up. Like what is happening here? I liked all that stuff, but it's just the story and the literal like what they're putting, like the dialogue between.
Yeah.
I'm just like this is so.
I think that there is a story here to be told.
Yeah.
And at one point when he's going around with the reveal, we'll just do it now, that there is like this demon basically that there's one player in the NFL that they not the USFL well, I don't know,
Yeah.
whatever it is.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
That is like blessed to become the
Him.
great him
means
the
you
devil.
are him. Him is actually like this, like mythological.
I took it as the devil. Like you're given the powers of a god basically, and you can survive any injury. You can
Yeah.
I think Marlon Wayans has like 8 rings, which is kind of unprecedented. I think I don't know how many Tom Brady has.
Yeah,
Chris.
probably. It's,
So in this reveal, they're going around this room, and there's all these different jerseys, and I was like, man, what number was OJ? I'm like, there's a I don't remember. I
when he
honestly
played football.
yeah, because like there's a uniform,
But he
there.
wasn't a quarterback.
Didn't have to be.
I thought they were all.
But they were
quarterbacks.
trying to say that OJ was him at one point.
I mean,
32.
OJ wouldn't have played in
What
that
number?
league.
That's true, but you could make a reference to OJ.
Yeah.
What number? So now I think that may have been
And what number is who? Cam or
no
Isaiah White?
Cam. No. OJ was 32, but there was a jersey in there that I think was 32. Maybe it was 30.
Second week in a row where we're identifying cast members by numbers.
I know. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I honestly could not tell you what.
but
numbers,
but like they're going around, and I was like, dang, that would be, because
but
there
OJ,
is.
was he that great?
Yes.
He
Oh,
really-
yeah.
Oh, he
yeah.
was that great of a
Oh,
player.
oh
Yeah.
my God!
Oh, I
yes.
didn't
Yeah,
realize.
no,
Yes.
he was
like
like.
he was a stud.
I
don't know.
I mean, I grew up knowing nothing about sports or caring nothing about sports, but I knew who O.J. Simpson
Wow.
was.
Yeah.
and like,
70 to 77. He played for a while.
and he was like so charismatic. Like,
Yep.
I mean, he had
isotoners
and
Kanye taught me that. OJ had isotone.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
and but all the Hertz ads that he did.
Oh, yeah.
where he's running through the airport and
Wow.
like
okay.
no,
I just
no,
never.
he
I mean, I
was-
knew he was famous, and I knew he played
He-
football.
I mean,
but I
he
didn't know he was like
was-
stats wise. Actually, was like okay.
Oh yeah, no, he was like
College and
Yes.
the NFL. He
Well, I know
was-
less about football than Tom.
yeah.
At
Well, I
the
think
end of
it's-
this movie, I'm like-
honestly, I think it's more just because I grew up in the 70s.
Yeah.
like you know what I mean. I
like
don't.
pop culture. Not, just
Yeah,
being
They-
around
well, there's
it.
all kinds
Yeah.
of theories because when OJ would run,
Mm-hmm.
he used his head. Like he used his head as a battering ram.
Oh,
So CTE, nobody talked about it back then.
Well, they didn't know about it. back
Correct.
then.
oh, so
Like-
some of his stuff might have been because of CTE.
I mean, if you look at the players that have been diagnosed with it, there are
how they play.
drastic mood swings.
Yeah.
They do things that are out of character.
And it's
You
one
know,
of the
it's not an excuse for what he.
No, of
Yeah.
course not. But
well,
might
I guess that's
be an
he didn't do
explanation.
anything.
Yeah.
Not excuse for what he was charged
Oh,
with.
yes.
Well, he did lose in a civil court.
That's true.
Yeah, but
That book deal thing is still. You know the story behind that book that
I mean, if I had done it,
if I or whatever,
Yeah.
like the family, Nicole Brown's family got the rights to the book.
Yeah.
and changed the title.
yeah.
and they made the if like
Real
Oh
tiny.
my gosh,
Yeah.
that's just wild.
Yeah.
Just wild.
But like that was one of the unintended consequences of helmets, right? Like people thought, oh, we'll put helmets on to protect your head, but because it protected your head, people started using their head as a weapon.
Which I think the ending of this movie is
The
again a not so clever.
The helmet is actually the original design of the helmet is actually a detriment to to concussions, because when you go head to head, right? Like it's your skull, your brain rattling around your skull. When you use that helmet, your head is bouncing off the side. Like it's not
you don't feel the immediate pain of conking your head like you would without a helmet. Not saying that they shouldn't use helmets.
No.
But your brain still sloshes around.
Correct.
But your brain doesn't have nerve endings, so it doesn't hurt. Like physically, you're
Mm-hmm.
not. It's like if you took a bunch of Novocaine and then touched a stove. Like
It's not
your
gonna hurt.
It might not hurt, but you're still burning your hand, and so it took a long time
It's
for people
not-
to connect the dots.
I think what people don't realize, it's not the big ones that will be the ones that will.
Yeah.
It's the little ones. It's the little ones where you get your bell rung, and you're like, I'm fine. You're not fine.
Yeah.
Like you're like that, and when you amass the little ones, when you get a big one, that's when all hell breaks loose. Like I've had 2 bad ones, and then I was a kid in the 80s, right? Like who knows how many I've had.
Well, we always say it explains a lot.
It does.
That's what we've been saying that since the beginning. Well, so I do like how again, I think there's good stuff hidden within here, what they're trying to say, maybe not what they say, but like the trainer equates
Jim Jeffries, the comedian Jim Jeffries.
Is that who that is?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, because Tim Heidecker's in this too, right? Isn't that the agent? Is Tim Heidecker?
I don't know who that is.
You don't know who Tim and Eric, the comedian duo. You've heard that.
Cannot stand those guys.
Okay, but I think the agent is Tim.
You
Heidecker,
are right.
If I'm not
You are
mistaken.
right.
Okay.
Yes, you are right.
So I mean, obviously Jordan Peele produced. He's going to get comedians. Marlon Wayans, a very funny comedian. Right?
Yeah.
His performance, I think, is good as a crazy, creepy.
The problem is not the performance
Right.
in this movie.
Yeah, and the acting is good. Again,
That's the kid. That's the kid from I Know What You Did.
Is it?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the first boyfriend,
I
the one that gets like super drunk on the boat.
Did not see it. And I promise you, I did
You
not
son
see
of
it.
a bitch.
I didn't. I didn't.
I believe you. I
promise
Every
you.
time we do this, we're like, let's go back and look at that episode.
No, I promise.
What was the one we're like, I didn't see it? We're like, dude, you were on the show.
I don't know. Who knows? But maybe it's CTE.
Yeah, maybe.
But anyway, I like how the trainer equates football to the Gladiators.
A million percent.
Which, I mean, again, right? Like, I think that's because football is a brutal sport, and the whole thing with CTs and all the investigations, and it came out. It's like, this sport is so brutal, and the fans cheering in the crowd are like at the Coliseum cheering for gladiators to destroy each other.
When you
So
see a hit in the NFL that is a hit, there is an eruption in the crowd.
Right?
On both sides.
Right, and it's like, but man, that's so gross because those are gladiators going at it. They don't care. These are not real human beings. People paid money to see people tackle each other and whatever.
It is.
You know?
It's you can kind of look at the UFC, and which I think.
And I was gonna say,
I think wrestling to an extent because there's
wrestlers that. What about
100%?
Benoit? You know what I mean?
All those guys that have, you know, when they dissected Chris Benoit's brain, they're like, he's got a brain of like an 85-year-old.
Right.
The dude was like 40. You
So
know,
I was
or even
thinking,
younger.
yeah, I mean, I was thinking, but think about all the wrestlers that die young, you know, in their 50s or whatever, which is like way too young.
Yeah.
And all the
Even
that they put their bodies through,
Yeah.
for people to cheer them on like gladiators. So
The
it's
one
just,
that I think is the most egregious at this point is that slap fight. Have you seen this?
I hate that, man.
It's
they
wild,
hit them so hard
dude.
that like they could get like brain damage from it. It's crazy.
Like a concussion.
right?
It's-
From us, yeah.
And
The
like
slap fight is
it's one thing if you're a UFC fighter
I know.
or you're a wrestler or you're a football like
It's
hockey.
gross.
Hockey, I think, has done probably the best job at protecting its players.
Yeah.
Because as soon as a guy gets hit, they're like off the ice. Like you're off the ice. You have to go through a
we
concussion.
get to box after that.
Yeah.
See,
But like there's a concussion protocol. Like the NHL has, and
That's good.
they've changed their helmets to like
Yeah.
you know make them a little more concussion proof kind of. But it doesn't matter.
the
You're
slap fight thing is gross though, and
It's
that's
so
that's
crazy.
by the Dana White. He's
Yeah.
it's just a gross thing. I'm sorry if you like it. I'm not sorry. I think it's just but
No, I
seriously
think-
though, but just stand there because you don't have a chance. Okay, boxing at least you can block, you can fight, you can do all this stuff. Slap fight. Do you know what this is? Have you
Yeah, they
seen
just
it?
slap
They
each
just slap
other.
But
each
you
other
have
as
to
hard as
stand there
you
with your
can.
hands
Yeah.
behind your back. Please slap me as hard as you can. And these people look like Vikings. And like, you know what I mean? So if you get the first hit and you're a Viking, you know, and I know sometimes it's deceptive, whatever. But for the most part, it's like, I mean, these people, and they just like flail to the ground like they're dead.
Yep.
That's gross,
It-
man.
I don't understand
They just
it.
keep finding new ways to exploit human beings as like objects. And
Mm-hmm.
but that's what this movie's trying to say. And so like I appreciate again all the underlying like, oh, that's true, this is what happens, whatever. But again, the execution of it, like the training montages were not that exciting. They get drawn out into being boring.
Yeah.
You know what
Well,
I mean?
they're
Like
quick-
you
they're
can only
quick.
pass the football and do it so
It's-
long before it's like, okay.
It's one thing I think we've seen 100 times where like a movie will show a guy throwing a football and you're like, that's not how you throw a football. Like, what are you doing? Or you see it's a baseball movie where Charlie Sheen I think has said when he was doing, I think Charlie Sheen did play baseball, so when he's Ricky Vaughn, like he knows how to throw a pitch.
Wild thing.
Oh man, it's so good. I haven't watched that doc yet, but
Oh, there's a doc?
About him.
About
I
him.
didn't- okay, I
About
haven't
Charlie
either.
Sheen. I think it's
On
on
Netflix.
Tiger Blood.
It talks about it.
It has to. I mean, can we just talk about how wild that was? Because I remember when all that was happening.
You were watching the downfall of like Charlie
But yeah,
Sheen was
watching that in real
exploding his
time
career.
of an A-list celebrity, like someone who's been around for so long, and then just watching them say the most bizarre things and giving them like
In interviews.
60, that's something, giving them like presidential style, like sit down one-on-one interviews because they're saying wild, like, it's just so weird.
He was just kind of like, oh yeah, here's Brie Olson, here's this other porn star, and we're just hooking up. And
I mean, they turned it into a touring property. He did live shows where they
He
would
did.
interview him live on stage.
Man, it's just like, but anyway, that was so weird.
that was very weird. But I forgot what I was saying because I thought, like
Major League.
the quick cuts with this does kind of make me think it was a way to avoid showing that maybe this kid doesn't know how to throw a football.
Oh,
You know what I mean? Like Charlie Sheen says, I knew how to pitch. So when you see him pitching in Major League, he looks like a pitcher.
Like, yeah, he couldn't necessarily throw a 90-mile-an-hour fastball.
No, but when you slow it down,
but he had the form
Yeah.
to where it looked like he actually knew what he was doing.
I've seen it in a bunch of baseball movies where a guy hits a ball and he's like, it's supposed to be a home run. I was like, well, that's a pop fly. Like that went right off the top of the bat.
Hold on. Are you talking about Tyriq Withers, who plays Cam, who attended Florida State University, where he was part of the 2017 Florida State Seminoles football team?
What did he play? What was his position?
Wide receiver.
All right.
But he probably knew how to
He
throw
probably
a football
knows, but I'm
playing
just
on a
saying, like
college
when
team,
you
though.
see cuts like that,
Yeah, no, I
it's
get it. I
usually
get it.
to
Yeah.
to hide something.
But the point is, like, you can watch movies like Moneyball, right, and not be a sports person, be like, damn, this is a good movie. This movie about football, I mean, and I love the show The League, but it wasn't really about football, even though the whole thing was about football.
Right.
But you watch this, and you're just like, this is so uninteresting. It couldn't keep my attention. I liked this creepy stuff. I liked some of the scary jump scare type weird stuff. But when it came to the football part, they just didn't film it in a way that was interesting to me. I thought it was a very boring, drawn out, and they just kept going and going. So we get it. They're practicing.
Yes,
Yeah.
because all they did was practice.
Yeah.
Like,
But that's what this is, a week long like tryout thing. It wasn't.
I know because the budget was so low they couldn't film
Right.
football scene.
I think the problem they have is, so he gets hit in the head. He's going to the combine, and even the doctor's like, look, this could take a week. This could take a year to be fully healed. We don't know.
The doctor basically says you can't play
You
football.
can't, and
like,
they're
this
basically, and the combine is like a no contact thing where you're
It's
just
Rocky IV.
kind of, yeah. But he's just like, you've got to run this. You've got to, they're checking your where you are skill level wise. And then there's other parts of it where it's like your personal stuff and all that. If you listen to the Aaron Hernandez thing, they're like, he scored off the charts with the physical stuff. But when it got to the mental stuff, he was not. Like the personality stuff, he was super low. But he was so good. He was so smart at football that teams were just kind of like, oh, well, and then
We'll figure it out.
And now look where he's at.
That's what lawyers are for.
Yeah. So what they do a poor job of is telling you that he doesn't go to the combine. Like,
What do you mean?
he doesn't compete in the combine. Like the Tim and Eric guy, he does a press conference and he's kind of like,
I like you call him the Tim and Eric guy. Tim.
yeah,
From Tim
those
and
guys
Eric.
are awful.
This press conference scene is so stupid.
But it's like, but they missed an opportunity here to say, hey, look, we know what he's capable of. You know what he's capable of. You've seen the tape. He doesn't need to be here.
But
he doesn't.
isn't that literally what the scene
that's
is?
what the guy says.
But like, I feel like
Which is also dumb because he's like, we showed up to this combine, but we didn't compete because he's already shown he's great. Like,
that's what I'm saying. Like,
it was so dumb.
But also like for the plot of the movie where this guy is not doing well, like, I mean, they have to explain it somehow. Like he did go there to compete, but then his medical things, and so he's trying to cover his ass. Like,
but they don't do a good job of, because like the last scene we see with Cam is he's going, and then all of a sudden we get to this press conference. We're like, nah,
right.
where it's like
But that's them explaining it.
But they do such a poor job of then saying like, and then he's so distraught about it, and it's
Because
like
he's done. His career's over.
but it's not. Like that's the thing.
But it was until the party.
I
You watched
don't-
this movie, right?
Yeah, but it's not. It's not done because he can still go into the draft. Somebody's going to draft that kid. You don't put up numbers like that in college and don't get drafted.
But with the
I don't
injury,
think-
they're saying he's done.
I didn't
career's
pick up
over.
on that.
But
that they're
maybe-
saying he's done.
But
I think
he doesn't want to be fourth string on the bench. Like
yeah,
his
I was
career
gonna say
is done.
say somebody would draft him, but probably someone of little to no consequence.
Maybe.
And that's why he's at the party. Yeah, I mean, they do drug tests in the NFL, right?
Oh, yeah.
He's doing drugs. His career's over. He doesn't care at this point, right? And so that's the thing. But then,
the lawyer, the
Tim,
agent, yeah.
Tim, calls him and says, "Hey, we got this, whatever." So do we spoil it now?
Yeah.
The whole thing's a setup.
Yeah, it's the whole him being attacked was a setup. The whole thing was a setup.
They wanted to make sure he would go to
this team,
the Saviors,
Mm-hmm.
and so the only way to do that was to make sure that no one would draft him. But then Marlon Wayans, Isaiah White, can give him a personal invitation to go to his compound
Mm-hmm.
and train for, because the owner wants him to test him out and make sure he's material. Isaiah White, again, you said he has like 8 championships. He's been playing all these years. He's the GOAT. Everyone considers him the best in the sport. But they're like, is he going to retire
But
this
he's
year?
aging out.
Yeah.
Like,
He also we in the beginning of the movie we see him have like horrific leg injury.
Yeah.
Like he snaps his leg in half and you see the blood everywhere. And then all of a sudden he comes back.
Yeah.
And that's people are just like, how did he? What?
So I thought he was grooming him to like take over his body. I thought it was going to be a ritual where he
I
puts the
thought
body.
that for a little while.
I
too.
thought he
I
wanted
thought
his
it was going to
body.
be an us situation
Because they're
not us,
measuring
but
him,
get
they're
out
like they're
situation.
trying to figure out his body, his weight, his height, and he's like, "Man, you're a beast," you know. And I was like, "Oh, he's trying to find a body, and then they're going to do the ritual sacrifice to implement."
That's
his,
what I thought as well.
But
like heaven can wait.
Or
Where they use the NFL.
they do use it.
He plays for the
You're
Los
right.
Angeles Rams.
He does,
oh, okay.
and now they're back.
Who is the star of that
Also,
movie?
Warren
Warren
Beatty.
Warren Beatty. Yeah.
Do you know that he was supposed to be in Kill Bill? He was gonna
Bill?
as Bill. He was like a ball's hair away from signing on to be Bill.
Wow.
And then it couldn't. He backed out due to creative differences, and they got David Carradine.
Man, David Carradine's so good in that.
He is, but Warren Beatty would have been kind of wild in that
It
role.
would have been wild.
That'd have been cool
Well, he's
to
got
see.
his Dick Tracy thing going on. He's got
in 2004 or whatever
no,
year that
it-
came out.
COVID.
Oh
remember?
yeah, right.
Tracy
right,
phones
right.
in.
Yeah.
Tracy zooms in. Tracy
Yeah.
Skypes in. Whatever
That's
it was
funny.
at the time. Yeah.
Yeah, I just watched like a little behind the scenes thing, and they like he was who Tarantino wanted to be Bill,
David Carradine's a great choice.
He is.
He was a great choice.
and just
But-
like Will Smith was supposed to be Django.
So Isaiah White invites him to the compound to do 1 week of this like rigorous, training regimen. Of
He was
like,
going
you're
to kind of put him through the beats of being like a star.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not only just training, but it's media stuff. It's all this
Mm-hmm.
different, trying to deal with women or deal with negative stuff, like all of what comes along with the NFL.
And I do think this is a very interesting commentary on celebrity and rich and famous people, because during the thing when they get into like day 3 or 4, when there's all these women around, and we know Cam has a girlfriend / fiance, a longtime partner that he's leaving to go to this thing, and he's around all these women, and Marlon Wayans like, did you sleep with her? And
Well, I think he's talking about his wife.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
but he's doing all this stuff, and there's all these other women and stuff. But he's basically like, see, if you care, you're not right for this. He's like, you need to, what does he say? Like real winners or whatever. But the whole point
He's
is
like, they don't care.
You have to not care. If you're a killer, you don't care what you do. You can't, if you have a girlfriend back home, you're worried about upsetting her, you're not right for this. And so I think that's an interesting mentality, because you see all these great athletes. Look at Tiger Woods. Look at all these people that are rich and famous and even have celebrity, like supermodel wives and all this stuff. And they go and do something so dumb, and you're like, why? But it's
I
like
think
that.
Arnold is the one that is the craziest to me.
I know, right?
Like,
With your
that
mate.
is
but like
wild.
But like they just do it because they're like, I can, right? I'm powerful, I'm rich, I'm famous, right? And they make these horrible decisions. But to them, they don't care because their ego is so big.
Yeah,
And I
they're
thought
untouchable.
and I thought that was a really interesting commentary again too. Like this movie kept bringing up things where I'm like, okay, this is interesting. But then you would get to like the football stuff, which I know it's like a football movie, but we've seen better filmed football movies. We've seen more interesting football movies.
1,000,000%.
And the football stuff just completely falls flat in between all this creepy good moments.
Yeah, I think making him a football player is an interesting idea.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I guess you could just to compare this to The Long Walk, right?
Yeah.
That movie is just about
Just walking.
just walking,
And it's so
you are
damn
in.
good.
You are in the
Yes.
entire time because those guys give in outstanding performances,
Right.
and you're interested in them.
Yes.
This one, that's where this falls apart. Is like, okay, he's an NFL star. I like the idea that he's kind of. They thought he was going to be the next big thing.
Mm-hmm.
He loses it. He has this second opportunity, and now he goes to this combine this commune
yeah.
that is run by the greatest quarterback of all time, and things are
They
weird.
call him the GOAT, I think.
They do a lot. And things are just weird.
I
And
know when
like,
I saw one of the jerseys 23, Michael Jordan was the GOAT of basketball, and a jersey said 23. I
Correct.
100% remember seeing that
Yes.
one. Yeah. Which I think has to be on purpose. Just
A
like
million
when you talk
percent.
about goats, right?
And that
Like,
number is synonymous.
Yeah,
It's
you-
like I know nothing about
And you
sports,
knew-
but I know
you know,
Michael Jordan.
you
and
see
you- and
23
you know his
and
number
you're
is.
like,
Yeah.
that's Jordan.
Yeah.
So.
So I do think that's in like I was like, okay, he gets to this commune and things are weird, right? Like
Yeah.
and you can attribute where I think this thing misses is like,
Well, his fans, Isaiah White's fans, are like cultists.
yes, well some of them are, but the ones that are like hanging out,
The
yeah.
ones that we see that
Yeah.
are, you know what I mean? Like, but which is so weird. But again, celebrity culture, worshiping celebrities, worshiping athletes. Like, it's very literal, but like it's a true thing. And I thought like, okay, they're taking it to the extreme here.
There,
But
I mean,
it's-
you think about it. It's a weird. I've seen it a million times where like on TikTok where people are just kind of like, and you put. It's so strange that when you go to these sporting events, like you see the names of other men on people's backs, and it's like, I guess that is kind of weird.
Who's the cuck now?
Yeah, it's like I mean, as I'm wearing a Scott Rowland jersey, I was
Yeah.
like, oh, he's the greatest third
Like,
baseman
what
of all
do I have on
time.
today? I've got four. I've got four men on my T-shirt.
Right.
but it's but
big
it's
of a cuck I am.
So I do think the story is interesting if you kind of like Get Out, where Cam shows up and things are weird, and you can just attribute that to this quarterback, this athlete, being on such a different level that his life is what we see as weird to him is just life.
yes,
right.
I
The
think
ice
that's
bath, the
literally
hyperbaric-
100%. But that's the thing. It's like it's all
They
on
do
Front Street.
they do such a poor job
Yeah.
of doing it.
Yeah, because like, give me a reason why he's staying when they just start randomly injecting him with things.
But that's the whole thing, though. I do think that was a valid like analysis or like a metaphor or whatever you want to call this for sports culture and like people wanting to be the best. What are you willing to sacrifice? You throw away your family, you throw away your safety, whatever, to be the GOAT. What are you willing to sacrifice? I think it's a good commentary. I mean, you know what I mean? Because this movie isn't supposed to be literal. It's a weird movie with a lot of weird stuff going on. But like, that's the thing. People
It's
do
mother for football.
It is
Yeah.
100%. That's 100% right.
But people throw away everything, chasing to be the GOAT. But then what?
But, like,
8 years
he's
later,
just-
you're done.
But you don't see him like contemplating that decision. They just like stick him with something. He's just like, okay, I guess that happened.
Well,
Yeah,
he thinks it's
like-
weird, but he sticks around, and then he is going to leave at that one point, and then the girls come around like 3 days in. He's like, "I'm leaving, man. This is it."
Who is that woman? Who's the
That's
blonde?
Kanye's
That's
ex-wife,
what I
Julia
thought.
Fox.
That's what I
Yeah.
thought. Okay. Is that the Safdie?
Yes.
Yeah.
Uncut Gems.
Yeah.
Yes.
Joms.
Jams. Uncut Gems.
And is his movie next week? Is it
Kanye's documentary.
No, Smashing Machine.
No,
No, it's
Next week
is
is
the only battle.
Oh,
One
the
battle
one-
after
one
another.
battle
okay,
after
okay,
another.
okay.
Yeah.
Which is, have you seen the reviews on that thing?
I have not.
Okay, maybe just go into it
I'm
without
not-
knowing, but
Is that bad?
no.
No.
Just,
Oh,
just
okay. All right.
it's the literal opposite of bad.
This is the Thomas. This is
PTA,
this is
yes.
the one that I like,
Yes.
not the
Oh.
other, not the other ones. But I don't
it's
like.
not Paul W.S. Anderson.
Wes Anderson.
It's not Wes Anderson. It's Paul Thomas Anderson.
This is the one that Kevin Smith was like, I'm surprised he didn't hit me with a chair.
What?
Did you hear that story? Like, I guess Kevin Smith dogged on something
Oh.
that he had done, and then they were both directing a movie at the same time, and they have to get physicals, which I think is
Yeah.
funny given where Kevin Smith is now that he had to get a physical.
Right.
And he's like, oh, hey, Paul or whatever. And he's like, he could have just walked up behind me and hit me with a chair, but instead he was like, oh, hi, how are you? He was very nice. And
that
he's like,
sounds more like a David O. Russell thing.
I
Like if you mess with David O. Remember, he's
well, I
on the,
think
like,
he's just saying he's like, I on his movie, and then he could have like just smashed me with a
course,
chair if
yeah.
he wanted to, but instead he was very nice and kind about it.
didn't David O. Russell and Dustin Hoffman like get into a fist fight?
David O. Russell, I
Like,
think
he's the
there's
anger-
all
he's
kinds
the
of
guy,
stories
like,
about
yeah.
him, and maybe not the best guy ever.
Yeah.
Right. That's what. But like, man.
Yeah.
Well, he's the one that was like screaming at Lily Tomlin.
Yeah.
right?
Same movie. Yeah. I heard.
Did he get into it with George Clooney?
Yeah.
And Clooney was like,
Yeah.
no,
was
we're
like-
not doing this.
Clooney's like, I'm more famous than you are. I don't have to deal with this.
David O. Russell has made some really great films, and just
Yeah.
talking about his filmmaking, but he came up in a time where you don't get canceled quite as quick.
Correct.
Try pulling that in 2019, and they call it Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
You know
I
what
also
mean?
think he came up at a time when there was still a romanticization. I struggle with that word.
You did it though.
Of the idea of like, oh, he's difficult, but it's because he's a genius.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah. 1,000,000%.
The end product will be worth it.
And it wasn't sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So basically he's going through this and all of this weird stuff keeps happening, right?
Yeah.
You've got finally he's nearing the end of this thing, and this whole time Marlon Wayans' character has kind of said,
well, one of his fans, I think you gotta say, like, one of the
yeah,
craziest
yeah.
things is the fan
that
you
was
see
I gotta tell you, that was a good scene.
yeah, where they're creeping out from under that.
Yeah.
So I'm saying there are great scenes in this movie, which I agree with Tom. It seems like they wrote what could be creepy. Now let's put a bunch of story in here.
Yeah.
But he's in a sauna and it's going up to 200 degrees, which, like, is that normal
I have
sauna
no
temperature?
idea.
That seemed like, was that supposed to be high? Because I'm like, holy crap! But do saunas go up?
I have no
don't-
clue.
But I'm thinking like he's gonna trap him in there. But really, what happens is out from under the darkness of the bench, that creepy fan that jumps up on the car at the beginning just starts like slithering out, and she grabs a big sauna rock and is about to smash his face in. He dodges it and like
Yep.
just rocks her. And
Yeah, and he's choking her, and you think that he
Yeah.
killed her.
yeah.
The
then-
average temperature in a sauna is between 170 and 190 degrees.
So,
it's
it
like-
was over 200,
yeah.
so it was going up high. But then Marlon Wayans comes in and he sees this and he's like, that's crazy. Like, he saw him choking her and he seems to be like into it or
Right,
whatever.
right.
And then she's like, do me or something.
Yeah,
and
she doesn't
he
say do me.
And he like kisses her,
Yep.
but then takes her head and slams it against the wall. And he's just like loving what's going on here. And he's like, all right, I'm gonna go clean this up. See you
Yeah,
later.
see ya.
And so like it just looks like this guy's so okay with like murdering one of these crazy fans, and then her creepy minions that are like crawling
very
around.
weird.
I love the imagery, the creepy imagery.
This
of
this
movie.
reminds me of Only God Forgives. Like the imagery is
Oh,
very
of course, right.
weird,
The
but like this
neon-
movie
like
sucks.
we love the neon washed aesthetics, but like what is going on?
Yeah,
with
that
this?
movie sucked.
So anyway, that happens, and I think that's the one where the next day he's like, "I'm out of here. This is
Yes.
crazy." And he's like, "Okay, but the girls are here or whatever, I
and
mean,
you see all the strippers.
they're
and-
partying
right?
and this, that, and the other."
And then the basically it comes down to he's leaving. Like this thing is ending, and he goes to see Marlon Wayans, who was almost Robin, which I think is hilarious. It was very he was signed.
He got a pay or play deal, so he got like
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
$12 million to not play
To not
Robin.
be Robin.
No, wait a minute. Back then, they weren't giving people $12 million
I
for
think-
Batman.
I think
they-
the third Batman movie, I think
I
they
think
probably
so.
could have.
12 million
Yeah, he
for
got a
Robin.
bunch.
I mean, I know he got million. Like I was thinking like 4 or
And
something,
then
which
they,
is a lot. But
I do
12
wonder. I guess since that character doesn't look, so they did a comic book
Yeah.
where they went off the new script and they introduce that character as Robin. So I do wonder if he has to, because
But
like
it's not his likeness though.
no, but the Michael Keaton Batman that they draw does look just
Oh,
like Michael
that's the-
Keaton.
yeah,
Like-
Batman 89.
yeah. So he goes into this room, and this entire time, every time Marlon Wayans is saying, "Hey, I'm going to go watch tape," you just assume he's going to go watch tape of plays or whatever. But we go into this weird circular room.
I mean, that's the thing too. They like hinted at it too much. I'm gonna go watch tape. And you're like, clearly he's not watching old football reels.
But I
Like,
guess he's just watching the fans cheer for
he's
him.
just like taking in and I think it's because he knows his time is coming to an end. Like,
Oh.
literally, his time on Earth is going to come to an end, and he's just trying to absorb the whole reason why
Oh.
he did all this, because he was sacrificing it to get the adoration and be
Yeah.
the GOAT, right?
I do think there is one scene that I thought was really good where they're going into like this full contact run. They're doing this drills that are full contact.
I thought that was Benny Safdie, the guy that's getting rocked with the footballs
Oh, I don't know.
at first. I don't think it was, but with him being, big director, and
Sure.
I thought maybe Peele would get him, but like the guy just kind of looked like
Sure.
it. Was all. Yeah.
There's a scene where these two players collide and they hit heads, and you think that the player that goes down that's basically having a seizure
Yeah.
is Cam, because he's got this history of concussions already.
It was very hard to follow.
Which
because
I
they
actually
do, like,
liked.
the heat
They-
signature thing.
It's
where,
kind of, they flip it where it cuts back to like a standard film, and it's Cam who is standing over this guy, slitting his own, not literally, but like
I think the reason
making the hand gesture.
when they do the X-ray looking heat vision thing, the reason I knew is because I think they show his scar. That's how you can follow him. Like when he's
Oh.
turned that way, you can see the scar, and so they cut back, and I think they finally reveal, like, oh, it's Cam
yeah,
that did
the hitting.
Because the whole time, like, all the players are rocking him and trying to take Cam out, and Marlon Wayans is like, come on, this is what we're doing here.
Right.
And they've gone through the thing where, like, a guy volunteers,
To
right?
get
This
hit
is
in
a whole...
hit in the face with a football.
And this is a whole thing with cults and sacrifices and everything. This guy's like, thank you, sir, for the honor. And he stands in front of a pitching machine, and they're putting footballs in, and he's standing there with his hands behind his back like a slap fight.
hits to the face.
Just taking footballs every time Cam misses a pass or
Every
doesn't do
time
it
those
quick
guys
enough.
drop a pass.
Yeah, or either one. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, it's just, right? So, and this guy at the end is like, oh, thanks for the honor. And he like falls over and
Right,
is
yeah,
dead,
right.
basically. But again, I think that's what are you willing to sacrifice to be in the presence of greatness or for your idols or for people you worship, these false idols?
Yeah,
it's
no,
an
I agree.
interesting assessment. But yeah, then at this point, Cam is now like got the fire and Marlon Wayans looks at him.
Because they did you find the number?
It looks like it was 100,000.
Okay.
But I think he still gets royalties somehow.
Oh.
I mean, if
I
they
knew it
use
was
his
a lot,
character
but
in the
yeah,
comics. But well, you should say that like we see at one point while Cam is getting taken an ice bath, Isaiah.
Creepy scene too.
Isaiah. Is it Isaiah or is it Isaac?
Isaiah.
Is getting his blood drawn, and he's got like it's the perfect oxygenated blood. Like, and he's like, I'll just use this as to recoup or whatever. So we see Cam on this ice bath again at the end of the movie, and he's getting shot up with Isaac's blood.
So you don't
Isaiah's blood.
You don't know what it is at this point, but he's like, the trainer's like, you're gonna thank me for this, and so he keeps shooting him with a little needle, and you're just like, what the hell is in this thing, right? And so and then every time he does it, you see bones like realign. His body's healing itself. So you're like, we don't know why at this point, but something in this needle that looks like blood, this whatever serum, is healing him. It's putting his bones.
He does have a good line where Jim Jeffries, who plays like the trainer, and Cam are sitting down there talking, and he's like, I took this job. This is my dream job. I never get to see my kids. He's like, oh man, how many kids do you have? He's like, no, I don't have any. I just saying I couldn't see him if I wanted to see him.
that was
and Jim
funny.
Jeffries is a very funny comedian, so I do like that. He was allowed to be a little silly.
Yeah.
Every once in a while. So they do go to this massive They go to this massive party where they're going to introduce everybody, and this entire time, Jim Jeffries is like, get out of here. Like, he's kind of hinting, he's like, you need to go. Get out. And finally,
No, he says run, but I just
at
mean
this
it's like a
pa-
get out.
It
thing.
is at this party. He leans
They didn't
into
want to
him
remind people
of a better movie. He
But
leans.
I liked it when that syringe.
Well, he
that
leans
gives
in.
him.
He also leans into him in this party they're going to. He's like, run.
Yeah.
And then what's her name is like, you dick, and like gives him a look. And he's like, well, I see what happened to this guy, and I'm trying to save this kid's life.
I think she wanted his uncut gems.
So they go to this party, and it's just like people everywhere and booze and all.
But
this
it's very
stuff.
much like an eyes wide shut elite
Very
kind
much
of
so.
you can tell, and they're like, oh, this is the guy that owns the team, and his son's a dick, but he's going to take over someday, and it's just a bunch of
And we
rich
see
people in a glitzy.
Yeah, but it's like in like a pizza parlor.
No, it's
like,
not like a country club or
it's
something.
but remember
Oh.
they say like that's how it starts. Remember they have to go through like this weird
okay.
entrance because they don't want people
Oh,
to see it.
outside the Kremlin.
Correct.
Oh,
Yeah, and they cut through a Papa John's.
yeah.
through the back of
right.
it.
That's,
one does.
that's how
As
we
one
know
does,
that
yeah,
it's famously connected to the.
It's the only way they could get Trump to visit.
Correct.
my
just gotta you tease him
Through
with
the
tease
Papa
him
John.
with pizza.
Yeah. And right wing
and
pizza.
right wing pizza at that. Yeah,
Oh.
that's
Ooh,
true.
Pizza with racial slurs? My fave.
Can't believe he hasn't been reinstated yet.
Oh
and
no,
given-
I'm sure Shaq's like, nah, this is mine now.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
That dude, talk about a business mogul.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things where you know your career is over. You got to do something.
No, but I mean, he's so smart that like he's made so much money in the NBA and he has invested so much in businesses, and it's crazy. You know how many things he owns?
A lot.
Look up the list on Wikipedia of things Shaq owns and is invested.
Yep.
Holy crap, he was smart with whoever his lawyer, business manager was, whatever. That
Well, when you got that kind of money, you can invest in a lot of things, and if one of them hits,
You can
Like,
spin that.
but it's like with Shaq, it's like all of his. Like it's crazy the success
like
that guy has had.
Lance Armstrong still has tons of money.
Does he really?
Yeah, because he invested in a bunch of like tech startups, and one of them, I think one of them was Uber.
Oh my gosh,
well,
yeah.
that'll do it.
So
That'll
like,
do it, yeah.
So they go to this party and all the drugs and alcohol or whatever, and then Cam wakes up on a bed of ice in like a lower half football uniform. So he's not injects.
Crawls, his legs don't work.
His
at this
legs don't
point.
work, correct. So he crawls over and he finds a syringe and it says "run," but it's also kind of got like the emoji on it.
And he
so
looks over, and the trainer's head is there.
we haven't gotten there yet.
But isn't it close to it? Right. This.
Oh
is,
no, this is it.
Yeah.
You're right.
'Cause it
This
says
is
run,
The end
he
of
gets
the
the
end of
thing.
the end of the party is he walks into this room and he finds Jim Jeffries' head on a Yeah,
And
you're
it's
right,
like,
you're right.
and it's because this thing is like day 1, day 2, day 3, and it's a different title. And this one's like 5 sacrifice.
Yeah,
I believe.
yeah.
And it's his head sitting there.
So he goes and he injects himself with the vial, and this is where he goes into Marlon Wayans
The
den
footage,
kind of
where he's
whatever,
watching the. Yeah.
and we get the reveal. Like the reveal. I say that reveal because
Right.
you know.
The reveal where you're like, yes, exactly what they were implying the whole time.
Correct.
It's not a twist. You're like, oh my God, mind blowing. You're like, okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's about what I thought was going to happen. And of course, there's a fight that ensues, and Cam wins. Cam, they wanted this line to mean something. I was like,
You know
man,
why I
that was-
think this movie doesn't work as well as something like Rosemary's Baby, aside from, the million other things of quality.
Yeah,
But, like,
Because the director wasn't raping children.
Is that why?
Yes, why?
But in this, so in Rosemary's Baby, they gaslight her, and she's paranoid. And she's like, "This is something crazy, whatever." Cam is kind of like what you're saying, but Cam is just kind of sleepwalking along, whatever, the whole time. If he maybe questioned a little more, and they made him feel crazy and paranoid, but with this, they're doing this crazy stuff, and he doesn't really question it, and then they reveal it, and you're like, "Yeah, they were just."
Did you watch Apartment 7A?
No,
It was weird.
that's the movie
It's the prequel to Rosemary's Baby. It's about the
where they do the same thing,
You know
right?
the-
It's the same movie.
the woman that Mia Farrow and John Cassavetes see fall out of the door.
Yeah.
It's her. It's the woman that falls out,
Okay,
and it's Jennifer Garner.
okay.
Gardner, who's a Silver Surfer.
Julia Garner.
Julia Gardner
Okay.
is that woman. But it's like, and you see Mia Farrow randomly throughout the movie, but like
Oh.
it's from the back.
Oh,
Like there's a scene where Mia Farrow meets the woman in the
Yeah.
it,
the laundry
you
or
see that
something?
scene, but it's
Okay.
like from the other point. It's,
Okay.
But
But I think Matt was talking about. He said it's like the same movie. You're
It
just
is.
watching the exact same
It's the
stuff
exact
happen.
same
Where
movie.
it's like we've seen this
except
movie.
the end is like it ties into Rosemary's Baby, and it's like, all right, I guess.
But do you know what I mean though? But this whole movie, I think if they gaslit him and made him feel a little paranoid, and they're like, no, this is just really tough training
that's
or
what I'm
whatever.
saying, is like-
but it's like, no,
If-
it's happening 24/7, and no one's.
If you hadn't made it look like Marlon Wayans' character is just this weird, eccentric, who has no concept of reality
Right.
because
I think
he's
they do
so
in the
famous.
beginning. I think they do in the
Kind
beginning,
of.
but once people are like getting murdered, you're like, well, this is not normal, right? Like,
No, I do think you could get away with it. I think if you make it look like this, I think people have said a million times that like billionaires or celebrities, they kind of lose touch with reality.
yeah.
Where it's like, yeah, you don't get to. This isn't how the real world. I know it works like this in your world, but like when you go outside of your, this isn't how it works. So I do think they could have done a better job of making it look like Marlon Wayans had just lost.
yes, that's my point. I think this movie would have worked better if the audience questioned,
Yes.
is he just a rich, crazy person?
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
is supernatural stuff going on?
I agree.
But clearly it's just supernatural, weird stuff going on. So
Yeah,
when
at no point was I like, what is happening? I'm
Yeah,
like,
that's-
like I know exactly.
and that's the
what's
problem,
happening.
right? Good things to say, but the way they say it is just too literal. They
Correct.
needed to get some mystery to it. So he goes to
He wins this.
to fight him.
He beats him, and the
This is the gladiatorial battle, and
Yeah.
he basically just says there can be only one. There's one him.
And Henry Cavill's like, hey,
Yeah.
hey, that's me.
Yeah.
Like, don't. Well, not for right now.
Oh, he's hurt
broke
right
his,
now,
Broke
but-
his foot or whatever.
But so it comes down to it. He goes, there can be one him through the generations. There's been one him, and
we
the
pass
him-
it down from
Yeah,
person to person.
you take the person's blood. He's like the person before me and before him. So Marlon Wayans is him right now.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, you got to take it from me. Only one person can walk out of that tunnel. So
And then the line that I thought they wanted to hit that didn't, where he's like, there's him and then there's the mascot. Like, that's what he says before he hits him with the helmet.
no, he says, what's the opposite
What's
of a
the-
savior?
Eh.
And he says something else, and he goes, no, a mascot. Because then he was like, literally, like the team, the saviors, the opposite of like a player is the mascot, the lowest.
Man, you put that together better than I did, because I was like, that doesn't make it. The opposite of a savior is.
Because it's the football team name.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
He first takes it like, what's a savior? I don't know, whatever, a hero, a weakling, whatever not a savior is. But then he's like, no, it's the mascot, because they're equating it to the
Okay.
football team
Jesus
world.
Christ, that's terrible.
I know, but that's the thing. It's like they think they're so
Also
pro-
to the mascot.
I know that guy.
Right.
Those guys work real hard.
It's just different skill sets.
That's
man.
right.
yeah.
Like
yeah.
But that's the thing is, again, the movie thinks it's so profound and it delivers these things, and you're just like, that wasn't quite as.
nope.
But
he
anyway,
didn't.
but so Cam wins.
Yeah.
He takes the helmet and just destroys
Yeah.
Isaiah with it, and then I think he finishes off by punching him or whatever. But he's done.
Right.
He's dead.
And so Isaiah walks out of the tunnel, or I'm sorry, Cam walks out of the tunnel, and there's Julie, whatever her face is, looking like a demon thing with her hair like slick. She looks like
It's cool imagery.
It's fine.
I think it's cool looking. This whole football scene where there's like you've got the like the cheerleaders and drummers, and there's jets flying over with red, white, and blue, which is why I think the American. This is the American version of Gladiators. What? I'm just saying, like the execution's not there, but I like what they were saying because it is like it's true. You cheer. We're talking about you cheer for these people to beat the crap out of each other and maybe get concussed, maybe die, whatever. And it's like it's all a sport to you. This is the American bloodlust, just like the old Roman gladiator days. I think it's interesting.
There's some truth to that.
And I think
agree.
the filming was cool looking. But it's just
it is weird that we have spent all this time in this compound, and then all of a sudden you're like, wait, there was a whole nother part of this that we didn't even talk about. Was the giant football field in the back? This is all part of the compound.
No, I don't think it's that literal.
Yes, it is. How does he get there?
I presumed that was some kind of like a jump cut. Okay, I don't know, but I don't. Maybe whatever. I don't.
So
think
he walks
it
out. He walks out, and there's Julia Fox with her best Harley Quinn impression, where she's got like this giant book in front of her. You've got a panel of the owners and the agents all wearing like pig masks, and so dumb. And now Cam has to make a choice. He signs the contract and he gets everything he ever wanted, or he can not,
or he can die.
And he can die.
I'm not gonna let him walk
but
away.
But instead,
she's like, sign the paper.
They must have just saved their blood budget for this, because he just starts tearing in like the one guy.
At this point, he is him, right? So he has taken Isaiah's blood. He now has this supernatural ability. He hasn't signed the paper, but he's been taking the blood, so he's a beast now.
Yeah, and the guy who hits him in the head in the beginning of the movie shows back up, swings and misses, and Cam catches the axe.
It's the owner's son. You said, Tim, the lawyer. And so what we come to find out is they said, we groomed you from the beginning for this. And so we see clips of his dad, and his dad passes away and wanted him to be a football player and did all this stuff. And then he died. And then he died after he was like, I don't want to do this anymore. And now he's like, well, the only way
I think they killed him.
Well, but I think here's my theory. The dad and them were in cahoots since he was a little kid, and when Cam said he's going to walk away, well, now the dad, what's he going to do?
Right.
The whole thing was they were funding and raising him to be this football player, and if he walks away, it's like, yeah, you're dead. Like,
so they killed the dad.
The dad had signed a deal with the devil for his son to be to be him.
Okay.
And when he walks away, he's dead.
You're writing their script for him, brother.
But I think that's what
I don't think you're wrong.
Yeah.
But. Okay.
So, but then Tim says, but he lays it out. He says, we've been raising you since you were a kid for this, whatever. Sign the thing. This is what it's all about. And he's just like, no. And starts killing everyone.
And he kills everybody.
I like that he threw the sword. I mean, he's a quarterback, like
that was good.
Football, right? So the sword goes through the guy's back. And
I did like that he doesn't kill Julia Fox because she just falls on her knife. It's like, okay, that's fine.
But she's like, I might do this myself, and then falls on her thing in her throat. And
so he ends up killing everybody.
Except for Tim.
But Tim gets sucked onto this pentagram style thing, and as Cam is walking away, he just explodes, kind of like in Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah, a blood geyser.
Yeah, blood geyser, and then that's how it ends. Is Cam just walking away?
And I think you have to question, like, does he go on to play football now, but like not by his own rules, but he has these powers now, or I mean, they just leave it open right there. You don't know what happens to him. But
I'm sure there would be no murder investigation after he killed like 6 billion.
But again, like to your point earlier, this is a movie like Mother. I mean, you can't take it literally. There's a lot of weird stuff going on.
Yeah,
it's
a
metaphor. It's not like
they were smart to put Jordan Peele's name.
Oh yeah.
All over this thing.
Sure. Well, in the short term,
right?
Yeah, but in the long term, if people walk out of that thinking it's a Jordan Peele movie, it's going to hurt the next one.
I think they were clear enough. I think people know this isn't a Jordan Peele movie.
I don't know that.
Really?
That's
I would not know that's true. I mean,
I think film nerds know, but I don't.
You've got his logo in the front of it. You've got his name all over this thing.
But non-film people don't know what Monkey Paw is. They know Jordan Peele.
Yeah.
You're not going to know production companies if you're not a film
they did
person.
this with Wes Craven, like Wes Craven Presents. Tarantino did this for a little bit. Where it was
they've
like,
done.
you
They
know.
used to put people's names on stuff, especially Tarantino. You're
Yeah.
right. That was
But yeah, so hopefully this doesn't. I mean, and like we've said before, Jordan Peele is 3 for 3. Like 3 outstanding movies. His next one got pushed, not because of anything weird, but it sounds like it just creatively they couldn't get it where they needed it
Well, I
to
think
get
that's
it, to
great
get
that
it going.
He has
Yeah.
the pull where it's like if this thing is, I think that's why the next one will be great, just like the first 3.
Right.
It's like he's like, no, if this isn't perfect, I'm not releasing it. That's
Right.
cool that he has.
No, I think
earned
that's
that.
smart.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, this was a swing and a.
$27 million budget, so a very small budget. It's made 13.
Yeah, it was a Blumhouse movie.
Million.
It was Blumhouse, so like that makes sense that it would be a smaller budget. Again, I'm glad this didn't go, up against anything on Halloween. Like if they thought this was going to be a thing, like a Halloween movie.
But this is a slow time of year. The 13 million's not bad for horror. We talk about it all the time.
no.
Horror sells. Like people want to go see a new horror movie that they're going to turn up for.
I saw a trailer for something that was Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah, 2.
In December. And I was like, why wouldn't you put that out at Halloween? Why would that not be a Halloween movie?
It's a great question.
That doesn't make any sense.
They do that sometimes, though. They release horror movies at Christmas. They've
Sometimes.
done that.
I mean, Nosferatu.
Yeah,
That's true,
I
but
think
that's
it's
a little bit different
But
because
it
it's
can
like-
counter programming though, like for
Yeah.
people that don't go see whatever the Christmas
And
feel
it's
good-
so big with teenagers and they're out of school.
yeah,
That's fair.
yeah. Five Nights at Freddy's.
I didn't
is
think
a,
about-
like,
I didn't
middle
think
school,
about that
it's a
one.
middle
That's
school.
true.
And that last
Young-
one was a monster hit.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
did
It was
not
so bad.
Oh, it was awful, but
But
it was,
it made so much
It did.
money.
That
and
property.
my stepdaughter loves Five Nights at Freddy's stuff. I mean, she was an early adopter of that.
Yeah.
Like we had to buy like all fan made merch for her because real stuff didn't exist yet. Like that's how early.
I remember
That's
I got her
crazy.
some Funko Pops.
Yeah.
that I saw because they were like a special edition, whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm like, does she want these? I know she loves this.
Yeah, and
property.
but she loved it, and I'm like,
Oh,
that
that's
movie-
good. Well, but remember, we talked about this. You could tell it was fan service. The movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For people that don't play the games or don't watch whatever, don't read the books and all that. Like we thought it was terrible because all it was winking at the camera.
Yeah.
But it was the fan service movie. So like, I bet if you love the property,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, there's that. But you can't enjoy that as a non-fan if you're just throwing Easter eggs.
Yeah,
at you, 'cause
right,
you're like,
right.
What the hell is this?
No,
Yeah.
it was terrible.
But yeah,
So, anyway,
Yeah.
that's it for this one. This movie was trash, and I hated it so much. But anyway, that's it for this one. Let's go around the table, and everyone can say where to find them.
This is Joe. You can follow me on the Twitter at JoeyButts at BUTTS21. Also on any of the other social media sites at the same.
this is Kevin. Follow me on Twitter at Kevin R. Brackett.
And this is Tom. You can follow me on Threads and Blue Sky at Tom O'Keefe Jr. or on Facebook at facebook.com/Tom O'Keefe. You can find the show online at facebook.com/Real Spoilers. While you're there, like the page, join the group. Of course, don't forget our Patreon, $5 a month, and you get all sorts of bonus content. So that's it for this one. Thanks for tuning in. And until next time, crew gives Hazen the game ball.
Get ready for a spoiler. Won't say it twice, cause we always